Kumusta po kayo mga kababayan, mga dude? May inaabangan po tayo ngayon at atin pong aabangan yan, aantayin po natin. Ito po ay patungkol sa press conference ni Secretary-Designate Trexie Cruz Angeles, mga kababayan, mga dude. Ito po ay patungkol sa mga bagong kabinete na itatalaga po sa bagong administrasyon po ng bagong halal na Pangulo, mga kababayan, mga dude, sa ating bansang Pilipinas. Ito po ay babanggitin po ni Secretary Trexie Cruz Angeles, mga kababayan. At habang inaantay po nila si Trexie Angeles, mga kababayan, sa kanyang press conference. O sa press conference na to ay atin pong, habang inaantay po natin, ay atin pong ibibigay sa inyo initially ang mga bagong kabinete na natalaga na po o napili na po ng bagong Pangulo o bagong administrasyon ni Pangulong Bongbong o rather Ferdinand Marcos Jr., mga kababayan. At ibibigay ko po sa inyo yan, initial, ang mga pangalan at mga departamento na kanila pong hahawakan sa administrasyon ni Ferdinand Marcos Jr., mga kababayan. Unahin po natin si Vic Rodriguez. Ito po itinalaga bilang isang executive secretary po ng Pangulong Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr., mga kababayan. Ito po in-order po, babasahin po natin to, ibibigay po natin sa inyo. Si Benjamin Diokno po ay itinalagang bilang isang Finance Chief Secretary. Si Representative Boyeng Remulla po ay itinalagang bilang isang sa Department of Justice. At ito po si Representative, nabasa natin to. Okay. Si Sinaida Angping ay itinalaga po bilang isang Presidential Management and Staff ng administrasyon. Si Ivan John Oy ay itinalaga bilang isang Department of Information and Communication Technology, mga kababayan, mga dude. Si Amina Pangandaman po ay itinalaga bilang Department of Budget and Management, mga kababayan. Si Cristina Frasco ay itinalaga bilang isang Department of Tourism. Si Tuts Ople ay itinalagang bilang isang Head of OFW Department. Si Arsenio Baliscan ay itinalaga po sa NIDA Chief. Si Erwin Tulfo po ay itinalaga sa DSWD, Department of Social Welfare and Development. Yan po, mga kababayan, mga dude, ang initial po na atin pong ibinigay po sa inyo habang inaantay po natin ang press conference ni Secretary-Designate Trexie Cruz, mga kababayan, mga dude. Habang inaantay po natin yan, kung bago pa po kayo sa channel na to, ay please click subscribe button po and bell notification para po updated po tayo sa mga video po na i-upload po natin sa channel na ito. So, mga kababayan, habang inaantay po natin, maraming salamat po sa mga lahat ng mga nag-subscribe po sa channel na to. And sana po ay subscribe pa doon sa mga hindi pa po nakapag-subscribe. Alright? So, mga kababayan, habang inaantay po natin, palagay ko andito na po si Secretary-Designate Trexie Cruz Angeles, mga kababayan. Pakinggan po natin at panoorin.
Ikiurong, ha? Daming nangyari po today. So, first, we'll give you just a heads up on the meeting of President-elect Ferdinand Marcos and French Ambassador Michel Boucos. Both sides began by congratulating each other for the win of the president-elect and for Emmanuel Macron's re-election as president, despite a campaign concurrent with the conflict in Ukraine. Both sides also discussed the effects and impacts of the said conflict on oil, energy, and food security. President-elect Marcos cited France as a model for the PH in terms of energy sourcing and generation. Both sides discussed the economy and the plans in this area of the incoming administration. Some of the prospective activities to commemorate 75 years of Philippine-France relations were also discussed, and briefly discussed towards the end of the meeting were the Indo-Pacific area and strategy, as well as issues of overseas Filipinos in France. The courtesy call, on the other hand, by His Excellency Luc Veron, head of the EU delegation to the Philippines, began with President-elect Ferdinand Marcos Jr. and Ambassador Luc Veron discussing various issues on Philippines and the European Union relations, including development cooperation, which includes support for the peace process in Mindanao, plus trade, disaster prevention, rule of law, good governance, and human rights. They also discussed the situation in Ukraine and how it had been affecting Europe and the Philippines. We'll take questions after the second announcement. We have new designated cabinet nominees, the first of which is Maria Sinaida Angping for Secretary of the Presidential Management Staff. She comes with a professional experience in the fields of public service and administration and international relations and diplomacy. She is a 3-term congresswoman who advocated legislative measures that promoted diplomatic relations, tourism, development, public health and education, women and children's welfare. She institutionalized necessary infrastructure that promoted sustainable self-reliance and empowerment, especially of the marginalized sector in the 3rd District of Manila. The next nominee is Mayor Cristina Frasco for the Secretary of the Department of Tourism. She is the incumbent mayor of Liloan in Cebu. She was awarded the prestigious Presidential Lingkod Bayan Regional Award by the Civil Service Commission in its 2021 search for outstanding government workers for her exemplary performance as a local chief executive through proactive initiatives towards innovation in governance and sustainable and inclusive programs fostering excellence in government service. She was a top-performing mayor in Central Visayas, ranking number 1 among the 116 mayors in the entire Region 7, and number 1 among all 44 municipal mayors in the province of Cebu. Next, we have for Secretary of the Department of Budget and Management, Amena Pangandaman. She has over 2 decades of policy development and finance expertise, has led various government offices before landing the role of Managing Director of the Office of the Governor and Executive Officer Central ng Pilipinas in 2019. She is the former Assistant Secretary of the DBM and former Chief of Staff of the late Senate President Edgardo Angara. For Secretary of the Department of Information and Communications, DICT, the nominee is Ivan John Enrile Uy. He is an expert in technology law, well experienced in information technology project management, and served as chairman of the Commission on Information and Communications Technology for the Philippine government. He oversaw the formulation of the Philippine Digital Strategy from 2011 to 2016. He is an international commercial arbitrator on areas involving IT-related disputes. And finally, as Secretary for the Department of Social Welfare and Development, Mr. Erwin Tulfo. He has been in the public service doing social work in 3 decades, awarded Best Public Service Program Host. He is a 2014 SM Super meaning Salute to Unparalleled People, Endeavors, and Resources Award for Media for his coverage of Typhoon Yolanda. He is known for his involvement in covering and helping the Filipinos here and abroad through his social programs and partnership with other organizations. And that's it. We'll take a few questions. And yes, Daddy. Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any venue for the inauguration for the President-elect Bongbong Marcos?
All right, we have no information yet. I think they're still in the process of making some crucial decisions. So right now, no, I'm sorry, no information as of now. But we will inform you as soon as we get the information on the inaugural.
Ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Sec, yes. Just for audit purposes, Sec, the basis again for the selection of the cabinet votes.
You want me to read them again?
No, ma'am. I need the general one.
Generally, for their experience in public service and proven service record.
Ma'am, Alice Jackson from Asian Response Press. I have a question about Senator Amy Marcos and her role in the President-elect Marcos' administration. Will she have a similar role to Bongo has in the President Duterte's administration as a sort of special assistant to the President?
The role of special assistant to the president has already been filled.
Yes, but she has sort of touted herself or self-nominated herself as like the super sister of the president.
Oh, she really does not need to nominate herself. She is the super sister of the president. So she will remain presidential sister as far as we can see.
But will there be a special role for her? Will she have a special role in the administration?
I'm afraid you'll have to ask Senator Amy that. Right now, she's a sitting senator.
My name?
Hi,
Yes, ma'am.
May na-defer po na appointment sa Senate, yung mga officials from COMELEC, COA. Aside po ni Senator Zubiri, gusto lang daw niya nabigyan ng free hand yung next administration na pumili at kumilatos ng mauupong official doon. Meron po bang plano si BBM na mag-appoint ng panibagong mga tao sa ilang positions?
Well, we have not been informed of any plans yet. As far as I know, since this is a late development, we will have to refer to the President-elect. Perhaps we'll come up with a statement as soon as possible.
But I want to know the DOE, Energy Department. Parang may lumabas na si Congressman Marcoleta raw po sa mga Twitter.
I'm afraid unless we've made the announcement, nothing is final yet.
The five cabinet secretaries you mentioned, have they accepted already or
Yes.
are they? Okay.
Wala pa po.
Ma'am, I have a question about dun sa meeting with the EU representative.
Yes.
Considering that the European Parliamentary Resolution in last February issued a resolution calling for the abolition of the NTSL Act and amendment of the Anti-Terrorism Act, will there be a heightened monitoring of the Philippines' compliance with the GSP Plus conditions?
Will there be a...
Heightened monitoring of the Philippines' compliance with the GSP Plus
I'm
conditions?
afraid no policy has yet been set on that. As you know, the president is still president-elect. So such a policy will have to be formulated once official communications have been made and he is actually the sitting president. Okay?
Confirmation lang on reports that pinalok daw ni President-elect Marcos si President Duterte ng role as drug shark.
Oh, that was during the interview he conducted, the first interview, post-proclamation interview. His words were, it wasn't a formal invitation, but if he should want to, then that, he certainly would be considered.
My last question.
Yes?
Ang bagong report yung AMTI, Asia Maritime Transparency Initiative, may na-record silang dalawang insidente ng pangaharas ng China Coast Guard at militia sa Filipino vessels sa Ayungin Shoal itong April. Ang sabi ng direktor ng AMTI, the long-term plan for China seems to be to make it so dangerous and costly that the Philippines abandons the Sierra Madre, yung nakasadsad na magpupulot sa Ayungin Shoal. Now my question is, will the Marcos admin pull out our personnel in BRP Sierra Madre or stay lang yung mga sundalo natin doon despite ng ganitong harassment ng China?
President-elect Marcos's foreign policy has not changed, but since this is new information, we'll have to get a further statement, if ever, on that one. For the moment, he's not yet the sitting president, so these matters should be addressed first by President Rodrigo Duterte.
Non-follow-up po dun sa China question because nagbago from the campaign, sabi kasi ni President-elect Marcos, hindi na available sa atin yung Hague ruling, but in the interview with you there, sinabi niya he will use the arbitral ruling. What changed? Nag-change ba? Should we see this as a pivot to the U.S.?
The foreign policy has not changed, but as of the moment, since he is not yet the sitting president, the details will have to be worked out when he is actually the architect of our foreign policy.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, guys.